This incident is a parent's worst nightmare. We are fortunate that this resulted in a positive outcome. This investigation once again highlights the dedication and commitment of our women and men who go above and beyond every day to keep our community safe. I'd like to thank all the department members involved in this investigation for their tireless efforts and hard work, specifically our patrol unit, investigations unit, our special operations, and members of our communications center. I would also like to thank our federal partners. This week it's the FBI for providing assistance and supplying members of their child abduction response team, and also the Santa Clara County Search and Rescue team for their assistance and their providing their resources to us in this investigation. Our detectives are continuing to work on this case. We will have more information as this case unfolds. But once again, I'd like to thank everyone involved from the start of the call till now. And this is where the hard work also begins, also putting this case together, working with our district attorney and others to find more information and motives for this incident. But once again, I'd like to thank everyone, and we'll have more information as this case unfolds.
So we have some questions. We'll have Assistant Chief Joseph with some Q&A. Yeah, I did that. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, who is the person who was arrested this morning?
Are we releasing that name at this point?
Name of the suspect? We want to release that?
We're not releasing the names of anybody. We have some people in custody at this point. We're not releasing those names just yet.
Some people, so more than one?
Yes.
Okay.
How many?
Two for right now.
Two.
Do we know what type of relationship they had with the child?
We know that there's some connection to the family, but we don't know exactly what that connection is, and that's something that will be determined during the course of the investigation.
Is one of the two people that you have in custody the person seen in that video taking the baby from the grandmother's apartment to a car?
We believe we've identified that person and have him in custody, yes.
The man?
Yes.
And the other person that was apprehended or in custody has a relationship with the grandmother. What is that relationship?
Like I said, we're not releasing all that. We're not entirely certain of all that just yet.
Can you speak to the baby being found today, how that was?
The baby is in good condition, being checked out at a local hospital, but unharmed.
Can you speak to what the motivation might have been for these people?
That's something that we'll have to determine during the course of the investigation.
Did you guys find the baby through any tips? They fed him, changed him?
I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question.
Did you guys find it through any tips given for the community?
There was a whole bunch of information. The neighborhood was canvassed. We looked for video evidence. We looked for witnesses that saw different things. So it was a variety of factors that helped us solve this case.
Was the other person taken into custody the woman who was inconsistent with the grandmother?
I'm not releasing who the people we have in custody are at this point.
We talked to a woman earlier near the hospital who said that she had spotted that van, seen it earlier, and she called police. And is that how you guys found the van, or you guys already found it?
That will come out during the course of the investigation. Like I said, this is still a very active investigation. Even though we've found the child, which of course is the most important thing, and we believe we have people in custody who are responsible, there's still much more for the detectives to do. So I wouldn't want to give any information that could, impede that investigation.
And was the child treated at the scene, and at least the parents were taken and treated as well?
My understanding is the child was transported to the hospital, and I don't know where the child is at this moment, but certainly will be released back to the family as soon as we know he's healthy.
Do you know how the baby spent his last 20 hours?
That's something that we'll have to find out during the course of this investigation.
Has the mother been reunited with the baby?
I don't know that for sure at this point, but certainly they will be reunited as soon as the baby's healthy and we can do that.
Those two people in custody arrested at this point, or just in custody?
In custody, being interviewed, and we'll determine what the appropriate action is at that point, obviously in coordination with the district attorney's office.
And was the baby treated regional?
The baby was treated at a hospital. I'm not certain which hospital.
Where was the baby located? Inside a house? Inside a car? Do we know?
I'm not releasing that at this point.
Many people has been wondering why an umbrella was an issue. And
We did not have information for an Amber Alert. We didn't have initially a suspect vehicle. We didn't have a license plate. We released what we had as soon as we had it, which was the image of the gentleman leaving with a baby carrier we believed was a suspect.
Can you tell us more information about how SJPD as well as FBI was able to locate this baby?
You mean
since yesterday?
No, I'm not releasing that at this point. Other than just say that we followed every lead we had. We used information from witnesses, information from video surveillance that we located, and ultimately were able to find the baby.
The place where the baby was found this morning, is that the residence of one of the two people who are in custody?
I'm not going to get into that at this point.
Obviously, the important news is the baby was found, but is there anything else that the community needs to know about this case?
Well, I think that the community needs to know that, first of all, we appreciate all of the information that was provided by people to help with this investigation and to help to find Brandon, the baby, safely, and that they should also know that these detectives never went home. Nobody ever rested from the moment we got this call until all of us standing here today and far beyond. The detectives here at the San Jose PD and with the FBI have worked this case and will continue to work it to ensure that the investigation is complete, people are held accountable, and that this type of thing doesn't happen again.
Now, do you have the gang unit out there? Why do you have the gang unit at the house?
I'm not sure that they are. But if they are, they're probably there to just support our tactical unit. Our merge unit, which is our tactical unit, made contact and was involved in the location of the suspect and the victim.
So that doesn't imply that you think this is gang related?
I don't have any information to indicate that at this time.
And then also another important thing about this too, that this wasn't a random. It wasn't random.
Well, we have to determine all of the circumstances and the motivation.
Did officers have eyes on that van before that Good Samaritan called in with the tip?
I'm not familiar with the tip that you're referring to, and I'm not going to get into specifics at this point about how the last 20 hours transpired for us.
Does the baby go home with mom or with grandma?
I'm not exactly certain. The baby will go home with the rightful guardian, and that's, I guess, probably the mother, but I'm not exactly certain.
Assistant, you said 2 arrested. I think there was a tweet by your department 3. Just to clarify, is it 2 or 3? 3.
I'm sorry, my error. It would be 3.
And what charges are we looking at?
Again, we'll work with the district attorney's office to determine what all the appropriate charges are. Obviously, kidnapping would certainly be one of them. But again, that's where the collaboration between our investigators and the DA's office comes in.
What can you tell us about the picture of the car that was tweeted out by CHP and then deleted? There was some back and forth between SJPD and FBI.
I don't have all the information as to how that got released at that point.
Is that indeed the vehicle that was involved with the case?
Again, I don't want to get into a lot of the specifics because it is still a very active investigation.
Have you spoken with the mother, and if so, is there anything you can say?
I have not personally spoken with the mother. The detectives obviously have, and I don't really have anything to add about her statement.
It really seems to be had planned. What will you tell parents, because this could happen to anyone?
I beg your pardon?
What will you tell parents, since this could happen to anyone?
What would we tell parents? We would tell parents, obviously, to always be careful and be vigilant, and we would also tell them that if an unfortunate tragedy like that were to occur, we would stop at nothing. We would use every resource of the San Jose Police Department and any law enforcement agency to help us get to this kind of resolution.
Has the father of the baby been ruled out as a person of interest or any connection to this?
At this time, I can't say for certain, but like I said, everything is still under investigation and all avenues will be explored.
We have Special Agent Scott Shelby here from the FBI. Does anybody have any questions for him?
For you, Christian. At the 9 a.m. briefing when you said about the...
One second. So nothing for Mr. Shelby, Agent Shelby, right?
I have a question. Just what you say is a
Hang on 1 second, ma'am. Hang on. She was first.
At the 9 a.m. briefing, you said that the one woman was brought in for questioning and her story was inconsistent. Can you at least just confirm that she's one of the 3 arrested?
Yes. Again, there's a lot of questions still yet to be answered with this investigation, right? Our detectives have been working on this, like you guys heard, since 1 yesterday. All of those questions, we will answer them for you as soon as we can. Again, we still are being very mindful of maintaining the integrity of this investigation, right? The last thing we want to do is put out some information and then have to take it back, right? And compromise what's going to happen to these folks when they have their day in court. So I know there's a lot of questions. Please give us a little bit of time. I will be putting together a thorough press release explaining, the sequence of events. But we have to be very mindful of the other steps that are still coming today. Okay?
Do you think you have everybody that is involved in the kidnapping of this child?
We will share. If we identify other suspects, we will certainly let you know.
In the area of special agent, you said Mr. Tilton, correct?
He is here representing the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, yes.
How often does something like this occur? And
you want to take that, Scott?
Sorry, the question is, how often does a child abduction occur?
Yeah, how does all this occur, and what can the community and people do to assist in trying to locate these?
I would say on a positive note, a stranger child abduction is extraordinarily a rare occurrence in this country. I think that's something we should all hopefully take comfort in. When it does happen, it's obviously a very high impact threat. Low probability, but high impact. In a sense of what people can do, I think what you saw in the last 24 hours is paramount, and that was an extraordinarily robust and quick response by the San Jose Police Department, and then you saw partner agencies jump in and complement that effort. And they worked every lead to the ground until we had a resolution. And thankfully, in this case, baby Brandon's been reunited with Jessica, and I think that's hopefully an assurance the community can take comfort in, and as well as expect that same level of dedication would happen the next time this may happen again.
Your grandma was with the child when this happened. Did she identify or recognize any of the 3 suspects that are in custody right now?
So again, any aspects related to the current investigation, we're not going to address because it would be premature to go into that, and we want to make sure we're accurate in the information we provide you.
And the FBI assisting in this investigation is also due to the more resources, right, and being able to help.
Yeah, the FBI in this case wants to be a good partner. We have certain resources and expertise that we thought would be a benefit to the San Jose Police Department, and we wanted to make sure we were there to offer that assistance.
Can you state name and title?
Sure. My name's Scott Shelby. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge for the FBI here in San Francisco.
Okay, thank you, everybody. I know everyone's really eager and wants to talk to Mom. I will be speaking with her shortly. I put this out this morning. She's dealing with a very traumatic event. Please give them a little bit of space. I will let your assignment desks know if and when Mom is willing to talk. But again, very traumatic event. She has a lot to cope with right now. Please give them a little bit of space. You will hear from me if and when she's ready to talk. Okay? Thank you.